Time. Ruthless, incessant, unstoppable. 1 minute, you're a plucky young kid launching a brand new YouTube channel, hoping to do insightful rankings and hard-hitting documentaries. Then, time gets a hold of you, and you find yourself out of ideas and doing coaster parodies every other month. So, this time, I'm sorry for wasting your time. But if you have the time to stick with me, maybe you'll learn something. Maybe you'll laugh. Maybe you'll cry. But you really shouldn't be crying, unless you just got off time warp. Then it's completely justified. Anyway, time is something, as humans, we can't really understand. We just know that all you need is a DeLorean and a few vials of plutonium to travel at any time you want. But honestly, really, where are you gonna find a DeLorean in this day and age? I don't really understand most of these coasters that use time in their name either. So in that sense, we've come full circle and it's time to get down to business. This is time versus time versus time versus... Yep, it's definitely time to get a real job.
Oh, you out of time, baby!
First, I want to thank my Patreons and my new member, Blakis Majoris. If you want bonus access, bonus content, behind the scenes videos, a shout out when you join, and your name on this fancy Patreon screen, follow the link below and join. Number 11, Time Warp at Canada's Wonderland. First off, Paramount, what are you doing? You have this major park loaded with coasters serving the Toronto area, and you put in a Zamperla Volare? This is basically an act of war against Canada, only topped by Six Flags trying to put Green Lantern into La Ronde. Luckily, Canada was able to fend off that attack and we avoided a major international incident. These Volares are so bad, Kim Jong-il ordered one to make his enemies ride in North Korea. This opened as Tomb Raider and was one of Paramount's last editions, no surprise. They were so ashamed of this, they had to get out of the business entirely, and when Cedar Fair took over, they didn't even realize they had this. After all, it's in that corner of the park with Flight Deck. Nobody ever sees it.
Also, it's icky back there.
That's true, people say it's icky.
18 years later, once they realized they were still paying to power that stupid spiral lift thing, they pulled the plug and Time Warp was done. No longer the worst active coaster I've ridden. Congrats, Swiss Toboggan, you have a new title. Number 10, Time Shuttle at Sino Wonderland in China. In 2013, this park was being built and they wondered what kind of coaster to make their centerpiece. Vekoma? No. Jinma? Still no. How about Beijing Shibbolai amusement equipment? Yes! If a Vekoma SLC is a Temu B&M invert, then this is some kind of sub-Temu Vekoma SLC. Whatever is cheaper than Temu, if that's even possible. 108 feet tall, 4 inversions. It was built but never opened, apparently running into financial problems in 2014. But we all know what really happened. Time Shuttle was such an embarrassment they couldn't bear to open their gates, and this coaster rotted away for 10 years before getting torn down, never giving one ride, but still somehow better than Time Warp. It definitely caused a lot less pain by never being open. Number 9, Inverse Time and Space Roller Coaster at Silk Road Paradise in China. It seems impossible, but yes, some people out there are still ordering Intamin Zaxpins. This one is set to open in 2025, equipped with all that theming on the support structure. But unless those rockets are there to blow up the ride so nobody has to suffer, I'm not really interested. All I heard after riding Green Lantern was, oh, this one's bad, but the ones in Europe are good. So I went to Europe just to find out if y'all were lying, and turns out you kinda were. Insane at Groenland sucked also. So I expect Inverse Time and Space Roller Coaster to suck also. Its only hope is the name, Inverse Time and Space. Maybe if we enter some bizarre universe where Zaxpins are good, this can be an elite coaster. Number 8, Spare Time Express at Nubs Fun World in Canada. First off, this is only an hour east of Canada's Wonderland. How could I have possibly missed it? I gotta drive over here next time I'm in Canada. It's worth driving 60 miles an hour on the highway and their $5 gas. I wanna go ride Spare Time Express. This is one of the most bizarre names for a coaster. Like seriously, they sat around racking their brains for a name for their new coaster in 2015, and figured, well, if people are bored out of their minds and have spare time, they can ride this kiddie coaster. Why not? This was even built on a mezzanine on top of the go-karts, so you're pretty much scraping the roof. And you know if they ever host an ACE event here and you pack in 10 adults to get the credit, that coaster and everyone on it is gonna come crashing down onto said go-kart track. I'm not saying that's what's gonna happen, but... well, yes, I am saying that's what's gonna happen, because that's what's gonna happen. Number 7, Time Twister at Jolly Roger Amusement Park. Back in the 70s, Vekoma used to ride Arrow's coattails, making these little compact looping coasters that seemed cool at the time, but by today's standards, they're just no bueno. Movie Park Germany figured this out just in time. They had this from 1979 to 1986, realized it was already outdated, and somehow convinced Jolly Roger to pay them actual money to take it off their hands. Jolly Roger had it for just 6 years, naming it Time Twister, a tribute to the fact they wished they could twist time and form a new timeline where they didn't get tricked into buying this. But what goes around comes around, and they hawked this over to Genting Skyworld in Malaysia. They had it for close to a decade, even gave it new trains, which I'm sure helped, a very tiny bit, and in the end, they scrapped it. Number 6. Harvest Time at Jungle Land in Indonesia. Some parks theme their kiddie coasters to dragons, or cartoon characters, or Satan, in some rare cases. Good job, Great Adventure. But this one is themed to harvesting crops, and they full-on sell out on this theme. First, the train. It's a tractor. That's a good start. Then you rise up the lift and wind around giant stacks of food. Like bags and bags and bags of food. Even some random apples and tomatoes that somehow got loose. So yeah, in Indonesia, the kids get really jazzed up for the harvest. The ride makes everyone hungry, and the snack bars rake in the dough. Or the rupiah, which, fun fact, $1 equals 16,249 rupiah, so go nuts. Number 5. Harvest Time at Happy Valley in China. It really doesn't seem possible, but there's 2 of these coasters out there. But what can I say? It's a big strange world out there, and this time we go to China. Somehow, this is even better themed. But where Indonesia wanted you to eat, China wants you to stay away. Look at these militant ants. They're ready to mess you up big time. That's fine, you don't want to buy food here anyway. $1 is only worth like 7 Chinese yuan, so that's not as fun. Also, this is no kids coaster. This is a Jinma spinning mouse, using Mauer-style spinning cars, but looking like a mock wild mouse. So, Jinma, come on. No shame just combining ideas from other manufacturers and calling it your own. Do you see me stealing jokes from other people to make my parodies?
You make me vomit. You're scum between my toes.
I would never. Oh yeah, these have lap bars and a seatbelt you'd wear in a car, so Jinma's ripping off cars also. Cool. Number 4. Hangtime at Knott's Berry Farm. In 2017, Knott's shut down their boomerang and found some sucker to buy it. Trans Studio Cibubur in Indonesia shelling out some serious rupiah to put this on their roof. And I guess because of that extra elevation, they thought they could get away with calling it Boomerang Hypercoaster and charge people a few extra rupiah to ride the hyper. Back at Knott's, after pouring in family coaster after family coaster, and as an apology to everyone's shins for the abomination known as Coast Rider, the park would get their first adult coaster in 14 years. Hangtime is a Gerstlauer Infinity marketed as a dive coaster. So why would they do that? Because dive coasters hang you over the edge, and Hangtime does exactly that. It hangs you, and hangs you, and hangs you, and I'm never going to be that guy that complains about a lap bar. Trust me, I hate over-the-shoulder restraints, but as it's easing you over the edge, you find yourself hanging by your gut. So make sure you didn't take advantage of the harvest time before riding this, or else it's gonna get messy. Number 3. Time travel at Hotgo Park in China. Is this called time travel, or is it called Lightspeed Coaster?
Nobody knows.
Sometimes with these Chinese coasters, the translations don't make sense. I mean, the text is right there.
So we can see where they line up. Yes, except that they don't line up and they never will.
This is a major gravity group Woody, over 100 feet tall, almost 3,700 feet of track. And when you think about time travel, you're thinking futuristic. You're thinking advanced technology. You're thinking about not riding if you have any of these problems. Like, hold on, I could do this. If you're a scientist, if you're heartbroken, if you're a singer, if you're Michael Jackson, if you pretend you're a dog, if you like to reenact scenes from Titanic, if you have an unusually large leg, and if you just enjoyed harvest time, no time travel for you. Anyway, when you think of time travel, you definitely think of a wooden coaster. Also, in the future, they don't have roofs on their stations. Definitely not a future I want to live in. Number 2. Time Machine at Freestyle Music Park. Ah, Hard Rock Park. Look, they tried. They really tried. They had a brand. They had a good collection of coasters. And I guess Myrtle Beach is a major tourist destination, even though it's kinda hard to get to and isn't on the way to anything. But I digress. This park may have only lasted 2 years, but a lot happened in those 2 years. Hard Rock Park's best coaster was Led Zeppelin The Ride, a major 6-inversion B&M sit-down looper. After the first year, Hard Rock International was out, and the new owners wanted to take more of a family-friendly approach to the park, and I guess Led Zeppelin didn't really fit into that image. They renamed the park Freestyle Music Park, and the coaster Time Machine. A weird name, and not even music related. And I think it was for no other reason than the owners wanted a time machine to go back and not open the park when they did. You know, right in the cusp of an economic catastrophe. Yeah, not ideal, not sustainable, But if you were one of the 9 people who got to this park and got to ride the Led Zeppelin time machine, more power to you. Nowadays, you have to go to Vietnam to ride it, but the good news is, your $1 is worth 26,281 Vietnamese dongs. So, 38 bucks, and bam, you're a millionaire. Number 1. Time Traveler at Silver Dollar City. Take note, Hot Go Park. This is how you do a time travel coaster. Spinning, inverting, launched, high tech. It even has a soundtrack that makes sense. Leave it to Silver Dollar City to get it right, even though they went a little overboard trying to push its theming. Like all the clocks hanging from the ceiling, as if time travelers are obsessed with dozens of analog clocks. But I get it. If this ride is supposed to mimic time travel, I gotta say, it's a pretty smooth and mild experience. Well, except for that first drop at the station. That tries to launch you into that alternate universe where the Zack Spin is actually a good coaster. Seriously, Sino Wonderland, I haven't forgotten about you, and good luck with that, you're gonna need it. That's a wrap on the time coasters of the world. Let me know what you think of this ranking, what you would have changed around, and how many time coasters you've ridden. This list has a lot of obscure coasters, but I can claim 3 of them, including Time Warp, unfortunately. Before you go, don't forget to drop a like, and if you're new here and love coasters so much you would go to Canada and get a credit on a roof of a go-kart track, please give me a sub. I have a playlist with other parody-style videos like this. Also, check out my second channel, where I post copyright-free off-ride footage. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.